Let me hear your pronunciation.
Omicron. Not the new planet, not the planet that Optimus Prime is from, but Omicron.
It's the Omicron variant.
You sound very positive.
Yeah, I'm very sure because I know how to spell it.
Our open economy, it is inevitable that the omicron, this one always gives a little difficulty. Omicron, that the Omicron variant will enter Jamaica at some point.
What's the new variant of COVID called?
I think it's Omicron.
New variant of COVID, how it pronounced?
American. American.
Let me hear you pronounce the new variant of Corona.
Omicron.
You sound pretty-
Omicron. Omicron. C-R-O-N. Omicron. O-M-I-C-R-O-N. Omicron.
I don't pronounce it Omicron.
You sure?
Omicron or Omicron, something like that.
I mean, what's the pronunciation of the new variant?
Omicron.
What makes you so sure?
That's how it's spelled. Omicron. Omicron.
It's the Omicron variant.
You sound very positive.
Yeah, I'm very sure because I know how to spell it.
And spelling normally dictates sound.
Well, it should. You get to the phonetics and then from there you know how to pronounce it.
I think that is Omicron.
What makes you feel like it's Omicron? Omicron and not Omicron.
But I'm guessing that's also the pronunciation if you try and sound it out. I guess that's what I'm coming up with.
Let me hear your pronunciation.
Omicron. Not the new planet, not the planet that Optimus Prime is from, but Omicron.
Let me hear how you pronounce the new variant.
Omicron?
You sure?
Yes, Omicron. Is that it? Omicron?
It's Omicron.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What makes you so sure? Some people say Omicron, some people say Omicron.
I think I'm sure.
Pronounce the new variant of COVID, you know?
Omicron.
Surveys would have shown that this latest variant has been one of the most mispronounced words. In fact, it has been said that in 2021, even though this variant came on in the last quarter of the year, it was one of the most mispronounced words in 2021 by different categories of people, including politicians, people in the health sector, people in media and communication. And so it begs the question of what is the correct pronunciation of this word. Now, the word Omicron, the variant Omicron, is of course from the Greek alphabet, and a lot of times in the scientific world they use Greek or Latin words to describe certain phenomena that take place. So Omicron, and what a lot of English speakers try to do, is to find a way to replicate that sound as best as possible in English language, to have a reasonable phonetic scheme to work with. And so there has been debate about the pronunciation, and I'm not necessarily going to say there is a correct or an incorrect way to pronounce the word. What I can say is that the place of stress of the word depends on the different types of Englishes that we have. You know, we have Jamaican Standard English, for example, we have American English, we have British English, we have other countries of the world that speak English. And so depending on the zone that one is from, one may pronounce the word differently by placing the stress either on the first syllable or the second syllable for the most part. So the original word is actually omicron, and so if we are going to try to replicate that in the simplest form, it becomes omicron. Omicron, so it's a short O, short and sharp, omicron. There are other pronunciations like omicron, omicron, and others. But personally, I would work with omicron. And in fact, in the other language that I'm mastered to some extent, which is French, the word is omicron. So the French pretty much just take the similar pronunciation from the Greek and transfer it in their language. But it's important to note that naturally, when we take a word from another language, in linguistics we call it a borrowed word, it can become problematic to pronounce in, the native language of an individual, in this case English, because people may tend to put their own variation in terms of pronunciation and apply different phonological and phonetic features as to how this word may be pronounced. So it's not necessarily a matter of one English having a mispronunciation or a correct pronunciation. Let's take the word mandatory, for example. In some Englishes, people say mandatory, while in others, people say mandatory. The stress is placed at a different point in the word, and it's the same with this omicron variant of the virus.